Okay, it's finally happening. The moment we've all been waiting for, the moment I've been waiting for. Majora's Mask Recomp HD. That's right, we can now use HD texture packs to play the best game ever made. So, for context, we're using Neryl's HD texture pack, and this is the pre-release version for Majora's Mask Recomp 1.2. And wow, yeah, just look at this. This looks awesome. I've got a hotkey enabled, so I can switch between the old and new textures. Sorry, I'm just kind of speechless. So yeah, I've got a hotkey enabled. We can flip between the two. I'm gonna say I'm mightily impressed with how this looks. Speechless, actually speechless. Okay, so let's get into this. I'm gonna stop waffling. So, if you watched the previous video where we went through and just explored some parts of Termina on the original build for the Recomp, well, we're on the same file. We're picking up pretty much from where we left off. Previously, we got all the transformation masks. Now we're gonna take a stab at the first dungeon. But again, if you watched my original video, there's going to be some glitches and tricks on the way, just to make it a bit more interesting. And we're also going to go kind of out of our way a bit to explore some of the areas that you might not normally see until considerably later in the game. And all this just gives us a chance to really appreciate all the hard work that the devs have put in, as well as everyone who made it possible to have the HD textures. Because this looks incredible. A lot of the time it doesn't really feel like I'm playing a new HD version with high-res textures because of how true to the original they really are. Like, this is generally what I feel like I was picturing when I was playing the game originally. And yeah, it just brings a whole new life to this game and kind of feels super nostalgic. But yeah, I'm going to be flicking between the traditional graphics and the new HD textures. Kind of willy-nilly, maybe a bit random. Just so we can compare, because I feel like it's really hard to appreciate how good this looks until you put it directly side by side with the original. Yeah, just like that. Anyway, here we go. If you know me, and anyone else who plays Zelda games, you'll know bombs are always the best item. So any opportunity we can, we're going to pick up a full set of bombs and bomb chews. If you watched the last video, you probably know what I'm going to be doing with these. If not, I'll explain as we go. Alright, so first thing on the to-do list today. We're going to be doing a glitch called Index Warp, which is going to allow us to teleport to previously undiscovered locations. As you can see on the map, we haven't hit any owl statues, but we can play the Song of Soaring, and it's going to let us go to, in this case, Woodfall.
Index Warp is a trick that allows Link to warp to any regular owl statue without having to have already activated the statue. The main requirement for performing this glitch is that the player has to have activated the out of bounds statue. Normally, when no statue is being hit, playing the Song of Soaring brings up a message explaining that you must first hit a statue in order to soar anywhere. However, if you hit the out of bounds statue, the game knows that a statue has been hit and therefore allows you to bring up the Song of Soaring menu.
This is super useful. It's going to allow us to get around the map incredibly easy without having to really go through the hard work of unlocking certain areas. It's going to let us explore places out of sequence, and that's really useful for particularly this video where we're going to be able to... Sorry, look at this. I don't think I've ever noticed how purple the walls are in here. Sorry. We'll be exploring areas out of sequence, which is really useful to us. It gives us a chance to explore some of the later areas of the game without having to slug through it all. And also kind of keep it a bit spicy, a bit interesting. Out of sequence gameplays are always my favourite things to do. Exploiting glitches and tricks. Not necessarily breaking the game to make it trivial, but just self-imposing rules to make things more interesting. And in this case, being able to see, well, not right now, but soon we'll be able to see Really cool late game content that otherwise wouldn't have been accessible to us right now. So, first things first, there's an annoying Octorok in the way, because if you watched last time, you'll know that we skipped our way here by bomb hovering out of bounds. Very easy to get rid of the Octorok. It dies to Sorafins, which is lovely. The only way to kill it with Sorafins there is to be standing on the lily pad before transformation. Otherwise, you will take poison damage and put away the fins, which means you're able to use them. This looks normal. Like, I feel like it's always looked like this, and until I compare with the original graphics, my brain just cannot comprehend how good this all looks now. So, super convenient for us. This water is actually only deep enough for Link to swim in. Zoralink and Goron can get through pretty nice, which means we can speed right through. And what we're going to be doing is picking up a bottle because we need a potion. So it's day one. The cycle for this area is always the same, depending on what day you're on. So it's left, right, forward, left. It's going to take us to our witch sister. So, what do you have to say? Okay, summary. Ouchie, I'm in pain. Please could you get me a potion for my sister? We're going to do that. But we're not going to return it. We're going to be pretty cheeky and steal the potion because we're going to need it later on. It's also going to give us a free bottle, which is nice, which may have some uses. You know, maybe some foreshadowing coming up later. Maybe not today, but maybe in the future. Wow, sorry. Put a wow counter on because I'm going to say wow a lot. Wow, this looks so good. Can I speak to you? Hello? Are you awake? Okay. Just everything is so splendid. Here we go. Here's the red potion. We need it. Not for your sister. Sorry, I tricked you. I'm going to steal that. And we're going to fly away to a previously undiscovered location. Oh, you see it's not on the map. We're going to go to Stonehead Tower. This can be achieved by index warping from Goron Village. And what's cool about that is we can actually backtrack from Stonehead to explore the rest of Icona Canyon. Okay, let's check this out. I want to see what this big face looks like. Hey, it's always like that, right? Surely that's how it's always looked. Psych! Wow. But it's so, like I said, it's so true. Just honestly, huge shout out to this is Neryl's texture pack. Huge shout out to Neryl, channel down below. I'll also include links to the texture pack if you want to try this out for yourself. I'm pretty sure it will be included with the official release of 1.2. Absolutely incredible. Let's look at the moon. So cool. I always remember when Majora's Mask 3D came out, people complaining that the moon looked super goofy. So what do you think? 3D moon or HD moon? Okay, so the reason coming to Stone Tower, and we're going to backtrack down, is because I want to get the stone mask. I feel like usually the stone mask is such a useless mask. Again, it's not like super really needed for anything we're going to be doing necessarily today. However, it will come in handy because it gives us a chance to explore a bit more of the map. Because after this, we're going to be using it to do a little sequence break, which will be nice. Oh, having said, we have just been sequence breaking pretty much all recording. One thing I really like about the recomp is you're not forced to play super modern. So just for some context, we're playing this 144 FPS. It's 4K downscaled to 1080. Playing this on a 1 ms monitor, so there's hardly any input delay. And it feels so great. But you can completely set this to be playing at original resolution, original frame rate, original size, original textures, and really get a super authentic play. Oh, this is a very rusty tower. Interesting. Sorry. Anyway, let's do what we're here to do. Let's look at the water. Wow. I feel like this area doesn't look too dissimilar, actually. The water does look nice. The water does look really good. Although that being said, one thing, maybe this could be my first complaint of the day. The shadows, or the caustics, if you will, on the floor, I think do look better on the original. I'm not sure if this is how they're meant to look in this texture pack. I know they said there could be some visual issues, or if it's just an issue or intended, I'm not sure. So far, this is the only time I think I preferred the original. Big jump. Okay. So yes, here we go. Now we all know where we're going. I've got the stone mask. We're going to be getting the hook shot early by using an item you would normally get later. Maybe not even that much later, actually, in retrospect, because how early can you get the horse? Gosh, who knows? This game's such a sandbox, really, isn't it? Okay, so if you saw the last video, you'll know what we're doing here. If not, I'll do my best to explain. We're going to be doing something called bomb hovering. Essentially, it's a two-part glitch. If you interrupt a crouch stab with a text box or picking up something, like we did there, you'll get a glitch called Infinite Sword Glitch, ISG, where you constantly swing your sword and it's going to prevent you from falling. If you then interrupt damage with your shield, you can in turn float, because Infinite Sword Glitches prevent you from falling. Then you can back hop, shield the damage, and move around. We did that to skip everything in this Pirate's Bay, really. Gosh, looks so good. But yeah, it's a two-part glitch. If you want any more info on it, here you go.
When using Infinite Sword Glitch and backflipping into shieldable damage, Link can hover in the air and reach out-of-bound areas not intended for the player. This is easily one of the most useful techniques in the game. To hover, all you need to do is have damage hit your shield. Bombs and bomb chews are the easiest way to do this, but any enemy damage will do.
Okay, look, I know what you're thinking. You can't just walk in here with the stone mask and get the hook shot, right? This first guard, she does not see us, which is nice. It gives us time to admire the aesthetics. However, behind these boxes are the elite Grudo. At least one of them is. I think it might be her in the red on the right. There she is. So we're going to be using bomb hovering again to essentially hover over the range that they can see us. So we'll be above their eye line, and the Gerudo are epic gamers, and as we know, epic gamers don't look up. So we're going to get right through here, hopefully, and land on the fish tank. I think one more, and this should be good. Whoa, that was actually kind of, I nearly overshot it. Also, I've just realized I'm such an idiot. I've been switching masks via the pause menu this whole time, and it's there on the left on the C buttons. I must have looked at it a million times already, and I've only just processed that. Hold on, I can quick change masks. What am I doing? Apologies if you've noticed that. You've been screaming at me this whole time. I'm very sorry. Depending on which version of the game you're on, you actually don't even need the stone mask to go in the front. I believe if you're on the NA North American, you do get spotted by the guard at the front door. However, I think if you're on the Japanese version, you can side hop, like first frame, and she won't see you. She doesn't like load in, or her detection sight doesn't load in for a couple frames after. But anyway, we got the stone mask because we got to see the cool world of Stone Tower. And I think we'll get this egg whilst we're here, because it might save us backtracking later if we do indeed choose to continue. Wow, look at those caustics. Shout out to Ren, if y'all know. Y'all know what the caustics are because of Ren. What a legend. Okay, so I think we'll go back to Woodfall now. So we'll be doing another index warp. Also, did I ever explain how index warps work? If not, hopefully future me knows to insert a clip to explain index warps. I've done something wrong though, because we should not go into Clocktown. Okay. I said Woodfall, I selected Woodfall like a fool. I need to select Snowhead, then I can go to Woodfall. There's a whole thing. If you're interested in trying for yourself, there will be a link to all the index warp locations. Also, something pretty interesting actually. When you switch textures, it only changes the foreground when you're on that menu. It doesn't change the background. Also, very silly of me to press buttons there, because usually if you do anything on that screen, the game will crash. Okay, let's look at this Deku. This Deku on the floor. Deku? So good. So good, wow. I don't want to like just slam the old graphics because they do look great. I'm a big fan of how it looks originally, and I've played around on this this version with the original settings. I also got my CRT in the background there. Yeah, huge respects. I love the original. Although my preferred way to play this is going to be sacrilegious to a lot of people, is on the 3D version. Maybe this is going to overtake though. I've loved the 3DS version. It's been my #1 Majora's Mask for a long time. But this, God, sorry, this looks so good. No, it doesn't. No, it does. This could very well overtake, for me, my #1 way to play Majora's Mask. If and only if I could play it on the go. Which you can. This fully supported on the Steam Deck. I just don't have one because I'm broke. But maybe I should invest. Playing this on the go on the Steam Deck could be just the best decision ever. Hello? Can I... hello? I might be silly. God, I'm sure you can just jump up here or roll up here. I might be silly. You know what? Maybe I'm in my head mixing up. Oh my god, I can't hit this guy. Maybe I'm just mixing up 3D strats, because you could just skip this. I'm positive of it, but I just can't seem to do it. Okay, I give up. Clearly, I'm either doing something wrong, or it is just a 3D trick, and my brain is just not with it. I guess we'll just make our way through here as intended. We could have been done with this dungeon by now, had I just not been stupid and tried to do a skip that may or may not be possible. Okay, so the reason we got the hookshot is you can hookshot onto this lantern and effectively skip half the dungeon. You actually don't need the hookshot to even make that skip. You can very easily just bomb hover over. The only reason I got the hookshot is because I wanted to explore a bit more of the map and kind of just see what these textures had to offer. Look at a bit more variety of scenery whilst we're playing through. Also, the hookshot's just cool. I like to have it. There is, again, I'm not sure if I'm mistaking this for a 3D trick, but you can also do like a long jump over there, but that, again, that could just be a 3DS trick. Damn, wow, come on. It looks so good. Let's completely trivialize this boss, by the way, or mini boss, by doing it in 2 hits. That's just the power of the Goron. Sequence breaking is insanely busted in this game. Gosh, okay. The gloves. Look at this. Look at the chest. Look at the bow. Okay, actually, can we see the bow? I maybe picked the wrong character to show this. The bow actually looks the same, and the fairy's in the way. Come on, guys. I think that's like the hookshot and the bow. Both look very similar. Maybe it's more environmental textures that are updated and not items. Well, that being said, the shield is definitely, and a lot of Link's model is done. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass, obviously. With that one hookshot trick, we've effectively skipped 95% of this dungeon. The only enemies we'll be fighting in here are the mini boss, and now we're making our way to the mini boss, and then we'll be fighting the actual boss. So pretty fun to do. I think maybe I'm doing Neril and the Recomp team a disservice by not fully exploring this dungeon. So perhaps we'll come back at some point and collect all the fairies here, because I've not even been to a fairy fountain yet. I'm bad. Okay, get in the flower, please. Please, Link, get in the flower. Okay. There we go. Wow, that was terrible. Alright. Should be pretty straightforward. We're just going to shoot him. Can we do any bonus damage? Did we miss? Or does it have iframes? I think we may have missed. Although we may have iframes as well. I'm not too sure. Can we just take a moment as well to appreciate the foliage? So, on the ceiling, but as well on the floor. Just looks so good. Can we hit this guy? No, he's definitely got iframes. Look at that foliage. Look at it. It looks so good. Okay, let's try not die here. I'm actually terrible. As always, 3 shots and they're dead. This room has such a huge visual fidelity improvement. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but it looks so good. I don't think I've ever even thought about how I would interpret the original texture of the floor. Whether it would be grass, but the leaves, is it vine leaves? Ivy leaves? They look really good. Ba 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 ba, we got the boss key. That means we can make our way straight towards the boss. I guess we have the boss key. Now we can make our way straight towards the boss. And be pretty much done with this dungeon, which is nice. Oh, don't talk to me whilst I'm shooting an arrow. It disappeared. Okay. So this is it. This is the real boss of the dungeon. I've never got this first try. I'm a terrible aim. My accuracy is awful. Okay, that was a terrible shot. We'll try again. That was even worse. That last time did hit, but it definitely was not on fire. See, I told you, the real enemy. Okay, I'll admit it, I'm just bad. I'm just bad, okay? Don't worry. And just like that, we're in the last room of the dungeon. And I'm gonna bonk because I'm bad. And I don't think I can even remember how to do this room, so it's definitely not like that. Okay. Gosh, you know, I've always hated these dragonfly enemies. Although not really very disruptive today. They're just such a nuisance. You know what, I'm gonna come out and say it. I'm a dragonfly hater in Majora's Mask. Real life dragonflies are badass. I'm sorry, what a strange thing to say. Look at that door though. It looks so good. Okay, just wow. Wow counter. What are we on? How many times have I said wow at just how good this game looks? It looks incredible. Everyone's done a fantastic job. And I strongly recommend everyone try. Just, if you like this game, just give it a go. I don't think you'll be disappointed one bit. As I mentioned in my previous video, there's a lot of hate towards playing this game, like upscaled, high resolution, high FPS. I'm gonna stick with what I say, you're all wrong. This is the definitive way to play. It's so good. It's so good. Look at this. Okay, don't watch me fail to kill this boss though. Because that would not be good. How do I do this? Arrows. Okay, arrows. Can I one cycle? No, I'm bad. I can't remember how you do that. I know earlier I mentioned that Majora's Mask 3D was my preferred way, but I do have to admit the 3D version of this boss was just always terrible. Yeah, it's really nice to be able to experience what is one of my favorite bosses in HD, high resolution, high FPS, looking so good. Get wrecked, son. Okay, he's there. I always liked this boss because it didn't feel like there was necessarily a gimmick you had to follow for the fight. It was just like, you're fighting just a big dude. It was cool. I enjoyed it. It's definitely my favorite boss in this game. Apart from the last, of course. Okay, so the heart doesn't look redone either. Maybe things with reflective or translucent effects aren't redone or upscaled or retextured. The mask looks great though. Looks really good. Okay, I'll do you all a favour and we'll skip over the Oath the Order cutscene. It's quite long. You can change the textures in there and see maybe like a little improvement, but there's so much fog and like post-processing going on. You can't really see that much anyway. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna call it for today. We've done the first dungeon. We've got to explore a variety of different zones, really. Obviously, we're not going everywhere. I'd like to go to more locations forward and see just how amazing this game looks. Perhaps we'll continue when the official release of 1.2 is out, or perhaps we'll wait for ray tracing, which is going to be just the best thing to be added to this game. It's going to be brilliant. I cannot wait. It's going to look even better than it does now, which is hard to believe. I cannot stress this enough. If you haven't played this version of the game, give it a shot. It gives you the option to play in whatever way you like. You can play original resolution, original frame rate, original textures. Or if you want, you can play high resolution, high textures, high frame rate. It's going to feel just as good no matter which way you play. This is like the most responsive way to play this game. This feels even better than playing on CRT. I know, crucify me, I said it. I'm sorry, okay? But this has all the benefits of playing original hardware has, with all the benefits of playing on a high-end emulator, without any of the hassle or the issues. Things like shaders and textures work as intended. The audio sounds better than it has on any system I've ever played it. Seriously, give it a go. It's super good. All the links are going to be in the description. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, you're an absolute legend. I appreciate you very much. I've got one more thing to ask. Please, could you consider liking, comment, and subscribing? If you made it this far, maybe like the videos, maybe like my other videos. If you haven't seen the original Majora's Mask playthrough, intro to Recomp, check it out. It'll be linked probably in the end card of this video. But yeah, thank you everyone, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.